Hello and welcome along to this CrowdProperty funding opportunity, which is land at Ellesmere Road in Shrewsbury. That's Shropshire SY1 2QR. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. It's under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. So this project is retained interest bridge facility totalling £500,000 with a phase 1 raise of £250,000. Now the land is a greenfield site approximately 1.97 acres with access directly off Ellesmere Road on the northern edge of Shrewsbury city centre. Outline planning permission has been granted for the construction of 36 apartments. The site is owned by Mara Homes Shrewsbury Limited, who are well known to CrowdProperty. The RICS valuation of the land with the benefit of the planning permission is 1.1 million, and CrowdProperty has agreed a loan length of a maximum of 18 months. CrowdProperty will hold a first charge security on the land to protect all lenders. So the borrower then already owns the site unencumbered. CrowdProperty has agreed a retained bridge for 18 months to work up the detail ahead of starting on site. The greenfield site situated on the northern edge of Shrewsbury city centre. Connection to the UK motorway network is via the M54. Direct trains go from the area to London Euston. That takes about 2.5 hours. And Shrewsbury itself is the county town of Shropshire with a population of around about 70,000. The site has direct access off Ellesmere Road from the east, and it slopes down to the west. Residential properties surround the site, and the western part of the site is an ecology pool and wildlife sanctuary, which is protected and will remain undisturbed during the development. So outline planning consent, their reference number is 18/02660/REF, secured at appeal back in January 2019. The proposal is to construct 36 apartments with a mix of 6 one-bedroom, 25 two-bedroom and 5 three-bedroom apartments. 5 units will be sold as affordable in accordance with the Section 106 agreement, and the developer is expecting to commence building works on site in Q1 of 2021 following discharge of the pre-commencement conditions and working up the detailed and technical aspects of the development. The retained bridging loan is expected to commence on the 7th of June 2019, and first charge security is being offered to all people lending on this project. So here's the location and site plan. On the left hand side you see where Shrewsbury is, and indeed where it is in relation to Shrewsbury. You'll see the CrowdProperty flag top centre on there. On the right hand side you can see a closer aspect of the plan. As you can see, it's edged in red on there. You can see Ellesmere Road on the right hand side, and you can see there's a pool there as well on the site. Let me show you some more photos of the site. So you can see the incline top left on the particular site, about a 7-metre drop I understand on that particular section of the site. On the top right you can see there's the road, the Ellesmere Road, which goes right past the site, and bottom right you can see the pool there, the ecology pool on the site as you can see it. Looking at the site plan, that looks like this. Now I want to point out to you, it's going to be in 3 different blocks. So come in here off the Ellesmere Road, but there's block A here. Block A is going to be 18 of the apartments. Block B just here is going to have 12 of the apartments, and block C just here is going to have 6 of the apartments. I'll show you the floor plans in just a few moments. So let's then look at block A. So these are the architect's plans. Block A is going to make use of the slope, which will provide undercroft car parking. 18 units, as I said, here. So you've got croft parking here, and then ostensibly you've got 2, 4, 6 on each floor. 2, 4, 6, and again on the top 2, 4, 6. These are mostly 2-bedroom apartments here, and these are 1-bedroom because of being in the roof space. and that makes up the 18 flats there, so 246 on each floor. Looking at block B, this is 12 apartments, where you can see there are 2 on the lower ground floor with some more parking, 4 on the ground floor, 4 also on the first floor, and 2 on the second floor. And then when we then move on to looking at block C, then again we've got undercroft car parking, but we've then got 2 flats on each of the floors, on the ground, first and second floor, which are going to be quite sizable flats there on this particular block. Here's the elevations for you. So indicative elevations looking at the inner side street scene is at the top. As you can see, there are sort of 5 levels here with the undercroft parking, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Falling obviously here then to 3 on the side there. You can also then see the rear view street scene on the bottom of your screen. And working through the financials and the proposed loan, the RICS valuation of the land with the planning consent is £1.1 million. The current estimate of the gross development value once developed and once it's completed is £9.76 million. That has been verified by RICS. So the initial loan to value is 45.45%. Remember, it's an 18-month maximum loan term, with the exit strategy being to refinance onto a development loan and then repay the lenders. So this bridging loan, the facility that CrowdProperty has agreed, is for £500,000. That's over 2 phases. We're talking here on this webinar about phase 1 raise, which is for £250,000. CrowdProperty will retain the interest to be paid monthly at 7% per annum, equivalent of 0.58% monthly. So out of that first phase raise of £250,000, CrowdProperty will only advance the amount, retaining all of the interest at 7%, so that it's available to be paid back to the crowd each month at 0.58%. It's going to be secured with the first charge against the land, and the loan is targeted to complete on the 7th of June 2019, with the loan being repaid any time between month 6 and month 18, and once the borrower is ready to commence construction and has refinanced onto a development loan. So let me tell you more about the developer then. Mara Homes Shrewsbury Limited, with a company registration number 07221815. They own the land at Ellesmere Road, and the director is Richard Cambray. Currently has a development loan with CrowdProperty on a 4 bungalow scheme in Westbury, southwest of Shrewsbury. I'll show you more on that in just a few moments. Richard is a qualified chartered surveyor. That was back in 1992, having graduated from the Royal Agricultural College in 1989. And Richard has a proven track record in site assembly, planning and project delivery over the last 20 years. He currently has control of about 90 units under development or with planning consent, and that's around the Shrewsbury area. So here's that Westbury loan that we were telling you about. Westbury, its works are ahead of schedule there, as with completion due in August, and they are about to commence the marketing on these. Richard was explaining to me that the weather had hampered things a bit, but now the weather is great. They're getting on with things, and it's taking shape on those particular bungalows. Some more recent projects for you. This is the Anchorage in Shrewsbury. Purchase of the site, which was a failed public house, also had grounds with it. It's about 1/4 mile from Shrewsbury town centre, and it was interim used as a as a pay and display car park whilst they worked up a residential scheme. About 17,000 square feet. There's 12 units there, and they've gained planning permission with no social housing allocation needed under the Section 106 contribution. And they've built and they've sold all the units on that particular site. Another one for you is Plough Meadow in Lentwardine, which is Herefordshire. Bought the land in Lentwardine, achieved planning permission for 10 units, which was made up of 6 houses and 4 bungalows, and the development was built out with joint venture partner, and all of those units have sold. And another one for you here, which is development land at Pontisbury, located 6 miles south of Shrewsbury. It's a 2-acre site. There's 18 units on this scheme, purchased back in 2016, had outline consent back then, and then the reserve matters consent was secured in 2017, and they commenced on site in May 2019, and the exit strategy on this particular one is to sell as well. So the offering here then is a retained interest bridging loan on a consented site in Shrewsbury. The interest is paid to the lenders monthly at the rate of 0.58%, which is the equivalent of 7% per annum. The total agreed facility is £500,000, agreed to be raised in 2 phases. This is the first phase raise being £250,000. The loan to value is 45.45% on the RICS verified land value of 1.1 million. And CrowdProperty will have the first charge on the land to protect the lenders in the event of a default. The phase 2 raise will be called for by the borrower. That's expected to be any time between the next 6 and 9 months. And the loan term is a maximum of 18 months, with this loan targeted to start on the 7th of June 2019. Now, the developer will be working on the technical and planning issues to ensure that he can bring the site forward in readiness to commence the site in Q1 2021. And he will be sourcing a development loan to repay the CrowdProperty bridge and commence the works. So your next steps then, please, are to make sure that you understand this loan and carry out your own due diligence on the project and also on the developers, and then decide how much you would like to lend on this project. CrowdProperty.com is the place to be on launch. It goes live at 10 o'clock in the morning on Thursday the 23rd of May. You can preview it before this time, and it will automatically go live at 10 o'clock Thursday the 23rd of May. And people wanting to pledge on this, then you'll be have the necessary anti-money laundering checks carried out by CrowdProperty, and then you'll be invited to send your funds to your own very secure online e-wallet, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. So thank you for watching this webinar. I hope you're able to help us to fund this bridging loan for the land at Ellesmere Road in Shrewsbury, SY1 2QR. This is the phase 1 raise, looking at £250,000.